We'll give analysis, but first, a revealing new chapter in the Democratic Party, as most of you already knew. The party that once shrouded itself in the Me Too movement, the social justice movement. We care about lives, lecturing Americans about humanity and compassion, and speaking out against Nazism and fascism and Gestapoism, etc. Now, well, that Democratic Party never really cared about any of those things. And now proof in the form of one Graham Platner, you can say El Sayed in Michigan, and this lunatic cisgender Tallarico in Texas. President Trump calling Platner a thug and a pig. After all, Platner recently covered up a Nazi tattoo. He is accused of domestic violence, psychological torture, stalking, routine dishonesty, and yet he just won the Maine Democratic primary. 72% of the base Democrats in Maine that voted for him, according to former Obama campaign manager Jim Messina. A star has been born. Take a look.
I thought that was, you're seeing a star is born, and you're seeing how a guy who no one had heard of a year ago, even in Maine, no one had heard of him, just beat the incumbent governor in a primary. And so I thought it was amazing.
A star that thinks people, the voters of his state, are racist and stupid. Wow, likes Nazi tattoos. I do have some bad news for Democrats tonight ahead of the general election based on Platner's appearance today on Morning Joe, Liberal Joe. I think it is safe to say that Platner is about to dominate headlines in the coming months, and not in good ways. Take a look.
I know everyone continues to be like, oh, what else is coming? Ironically,
right.
The whole what else is coming has essentially been the same thing the whole time, which is I've been very open about the fact that I struggled, very open about the fact I had a long litany of failed relationships for years because I myself was not in a good place. And then every now and again, we will have a media outlet or a politically motivated attack come up and try to drag it all up. But it's all very much within the exact same story that I've told this entire time.
Okay, so you say there's nothing out there that could be concerning. And this may seem a little bit rich.
There's nothing out there. I just want to make this clear. There's nothing out there that's actually concerning. People will make everything seem very concerning because that's what people do in politics.
Wasn't he on that website in his towel up until like last Monday? Oh, that's a long time ago. If you're a Democrat, does that inspire confidence? Here with this take now, the one and only, I think one of our favorite senators of all time, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. All right, the party of Platner, El Sayed, Tallarico, cisgender, God non-binary, and the rest of it. Then the party of Mamdani, Bernie, Pocahontas, AOC, the squad. No prominent Democratic leader, but John Fetterman will dare take on the radicals. What does this mean for how America will define that party in this midterm?
Sean, Mr. Platner seems to be one of the new faces of the loon wing of the Democratic Party. He's angry. When I see him on TV, he always looks like he's straining to have a stool. His supporters say, you don't understand him. He's just idiosyncratic. I guess he goose steps to the beat of his own drummer. But his history shows there's more than that. I mean, this guy makes Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez look like Aunt Bee in Mayberry. I mean, his Mr. Platner's comments about black people, his cavalier attitude toward rape, apparently his stated preference for masturbating in a porta potty, his contempt for America. I think at one point he implied that he wished the Taliban were better shots to kill our people. This is not normal. I mean, this guy is 10 exits past normal. And then he says, well, that was in my past. I've been born again. But just recently we found out through his wife that Mr. Platner has been sending sexually explicit messages, digital messages, to other women. He calls it sexting and says, oh, there's nothing to see here. Well, Anthony Weiner was sexting, and we all said, what is that about? And we found out he was sending pictures of his penis to young women. Now, I'm not saying Mr. Platner is doing that. I don't know. But he needs to release those text messages. I want to know if he's a sexual predator. I mean, and the people of Maine deserve to know. This guy's, he's like a Saturday Night Live skit.
The silence has been deafening on any one of the controversies that we've been listing. I can even scroll them on the screen to remind our audience. If it was a Republican on any one of those issues, starting with the Nazi tattoo for nearly 20 years, they would be apoplectic. The silence among fellow Democrats, and even more than that, the support he's getting from within the Democratic leadership and the party. I mean, their silence is deafening, and to me, they're putting their seal of approval on this platform by doing so. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like this, but I've said this before, but I think it's particularly relevant now. Republicans are not perfect. Gosh knows we're not perfect. But the other side is crazy. I mean, this is not normal behavior. And I want to know, I want to see those text messages, the sexting. I mean, the American people need to know, the good people of Maine need to know if this guy's a sexual predator. Now, I'm not saying he is, but he says, take my word for it, it was all consensual, and my wife's okay with it. And I'm going, man, you know, you need to change your meds. This is just not normal behavior. He also, his platform, he's got two planks of his platform. Let's get out of Iran. Just let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And number two, the solution to all of our domestic problems is get rid of the billionaires. And that's it. That's it. And the press never asks him any hard questions. Go ahead.
He claims he's an oyster man. I had a guy who runs this report. There's no such thing. Nobody's identified as an oyster man in Maine. Apparently, according to financial disclosures, his business. Now, he grew up in privilege. He had tax privilege. And apparently, his only customer, according to financial disclosure, is his mother. So I think this whole life story seems to be predicated on one big lie, and the media is giving him a pass.
I want to know more. I mean, I'm cool if he's an oysterman. I love oysters. But this is deeply weird behavior. And when somebody says, well, it's in my past, I was mixed up, confused, now I'm okay. And then we found out from his wife, and they were trying to keep it hidden, that he's been sending sexually explicit messages. And I want to know, he needs to release those messages. And if there were photographs, he needs to show them to us. And the good people of Maine, and they are good people, they've got a good senator now, Senator Collins. But we need to know if this gentleman is a sexual predator. And the burden of proof is on him. Let me say it again. I'm not saying Republicans are perfect. God knows we are not. Republicans are not perfect. But the other side's crazy. It's not all Democrats. But this guy is now the face of the new Democratic Party.
All right, Senator Kennedy, we always appreciate you being with us. Thank you, sir. Now.